Hi everyone, it's great to see you. I'm going to talk about a few trees today with you, and the first one, I think this arrived a couple weeks ago from Mr.Maple. This is a rare Japanese black pine, and it's called Thunderhead. So I have to say, I really like the name of it, but I also like the look of it. So this is only going to get about 6 feet tall in the 10 years, 4 feet wide, and it's hardy zones 5 through 10. So you really have a wide range of growing areas that can grow this adorable rare pine, and I just think it's adorable. It's cute. It has an awesome name, Thunderhead. You can't go wrong with this tree. So I'm going to keep it in a pot because I really like the picture that Mr.Maple has up on their website that shows this in a pot. And I could picture it outside in the winter, maybe with some Christmas lights on it. I just think this is a unique piece that I might want to move around the yard a little bit. I also have this adorable conifer called Jakobsen. This is also a rare conifer. It's a Jakobsen. Let me make sure I get this right here. Hold it. I don't want to tell you any of the wrong information in case you're thinking this looks like an interesting plant. Okay, this is a dwarf mountain pine tree, and it only gets to be 1.5 feet tall and 1.5 feet wide after 10 years. So this is great for somebody who has a very small area or who wants to keep this particular pine in a planter too, because I mean, look at the height now. It's like what, a foot? We're going to get another 6 inches taller in 10 years. Pretty slow growing. It stays a nice deep green through the winter. So I'm also looking for that color and that winter interest. So this was really interesting to me. So these two arrived a couple weeks ago, and then I have a couple that just arrived from Mr.Maple. One of them is a conifer, one of them is a Japanese maple. So the Japanese maple in here is Green Twinkle. Now, Green Twinkle is a replacement for my Green Twinkle that I killed. So hopefully that doesn't make this Japanese maple feel too nervous. We're going to do the best we can to keep this one alive. Look at how nice and tall it is. So these are nice, and let me show you the leaves here. Oh, it's so tall, I have to put it all the way down there. Look at that. These leaves are deeply serrated, and this particular Japanese maple was a Talon Buckles introduction, and it was named Green Twinkle because it's so deeply serrated. It's almost like stars. This is supposed to be like the twinkle in your eye, and I love a good story behind a tree or a plant. So when I think of Green Twinkle, it makes me happy, and how your eyes twinkle when you're in the garden. So when I planted this one in the ground, it did get root rot and the branches turned black and it did not make it. So this time I'm going to try something different. We're going to keep this one in a pot. So far, you know, I have some of them in the ground and some of them in planters. I'm doing better with those in the planters. I have lost 2 that I put in the ground. I think it was 2 out of 6 or 7, so that's not too bad, but it's really just nice to have them right there and be able to move them around. And I need to keep my eyes on Green Twinkles here to make sure that Green Twinkle survives. So I'm really happy that Mr.Maple had this one available. I had gone online to see if I could order a replacement right after Green Twinkle #1 didn't make it, and they were sold out. So that is the thing with Mr.Maple. You know, they're not a huge business, so they're constantly re-upping their supply, but they have to wait till their trees get big enough to sell off the next batch. So you can put in on their website your email address, and they will send you an email when the ones that are out of stock become available again. So when this one became available, I knew I had to order it. And since I was already paying shipping, then I might as well get one more thing to come home. And this little guy was the chosen one. This is a rare dwarf gnome mountain pine tree. It is also very, very slow growing. After 10 years, it's going to get about 3, maybe 4 feet tall and wide. Another great choice for a small garden, for a planter. And I'm really thinking all of these in planters for now. I'm starting, believe it or not, of course, as the garden starts to, you know, wind down, which I hate to be thinking of, but I'm thinking, okay, what am I going to do for the winter? And what videos can I make for that? So I think having some interesting things to be keeping our eyes on through the whole winter will be good for me, and hopefully you'll be able to tune in and see how they're doing too. So this is Ophir, this rare dwarf gnome mountain pine. It's a mugo pine. So mugo pines are kind of small and roundish, most of them. I have a couple other kinds, and it's Ophir with a PH in it. But just really, really special to have some really rare specimens and see how they come along. I have to say, Mr. Maple does a good job. Every time they put rare next to one of their trees, I'm like, ooh, I want a rare one. And I'm much more tempted to get that one. So maybe you're like me. You like sort of the unusual things, as well as our regular impatiens and other flowers that always look good too. So it's good to have quite a diverse lot there. So these are the 4 I wanted to share with you today, and I'll be putting these in planters. I'm sure you will see them around the yard in the future. So thank you to Mr. Maple and all the wonderful work that you are doing and the fabulous plants that I'm getting from you. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you in the next video.